Become financially free in a year. Diversify your income in 90 days. That's what we do here. We teach you how to think differently and earn like a contrarian. But first, let me tell you who this isn't for, because it's not for everybody. If you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, this ain't it. If you're looking for how to day trade, sorry, we're not your people. If you're a freeloader, not a free thinker, you won't like this. You have to be prepared to do the work and pay it forward. But if it sounds intriguing to create generational wealth and a roadmap you can use to quit the hamster wheel, well, we may be for you. Now, as you read and learn about this, over the next couple of pages, remember this. This is kind of a little revolution. Think of this as if the Library of Alexandria and a bunch of millionaires' brains had a baby, and we're stealing it. Maybe you're like most people. Most people are sleepwalking through life. If war is hours of boredom paired with moments of terror, modern life has become days of boredom paired with increasing concern about inflation, recession, change, politics. There's nothing worse than feeling like your life is not your own. You do a job you need to make money you have to hang with map people, to have an oatmeal kind of life. A funny thing happens. You start to look at the clock, hoping for work to be done. You start saying things like, thank God it's Friday, keeping your PJs on, working remotely, drinking a few more glasses of wine than you like, and not quite sure why. You used to love what you did. You used to have a master plan, but somewhere along the way, you lost it. Now, you want to explore and challenge, but income streams don't match your dreams. You see other people stacking them. You watch a few others skate right by you. You know you're capable, but you just don't have the right playbook. Everyone else seems to know the rules, and you've got to write them yourself. I've been sort of in that same spot. Maybe not exactly, but something similar. And I'm not sure if you can relate, but for about, 12 years, I did jobs I didn't really like to please people I liked less, all chasing money and maybe society's expectations. And then a few years ago, I was working 65 to 70 hours a week. I was a slave to my paycheck, and really my life in general didn't look like my own. I was in a relationship that I didn't love, and I felt like I wasn't in charge of my day-to-day, not to mention definitely not in charge of my life. But I had MBA and the zeros and the investment titles and hard work and a pretty sparkly life from the outside, but I still felt like I was on the hamster wheel. And I can remember vividly the feeling. Then one day, I kind of woke up, probably right around the time when I got divorced. I was sitting at another company meeting wearing one of those itchy suit dresses. You ladies know what I'm talking about. And generally ticked off about being at this firm. I had plenty of cash flow, but I didn't feel like I had much to show for it. Sort of mediocre relationships and friends. And I jumped from one opportunity to the next, but I was surrounded by people, even if they're ahead of me, I didn't want what they had. And I felt stuck. I think my real problem that I realized then was that I was doing it their way. So I decided to try it my way. And that led to kind of this life here. A bunch of businesses, founders of a bunch of companies, and I get to do cool things for a living. But don't get it twisted. I started as a public school kid. Didn't come from money. My dad's family were immigrants. My mom a 30-year special education teacher. I don't think I have anything special, but I did get to spend the last 15 years in the investment world, on Wall Street and private equity, soaking up all I could to learn what does it take to truly make financially free humans, and then bringing it here. I never thought I was going to start a blog or a business like this. I was running a private equity firm at the time as a partner, but COVID hit and I couldn't travel around, and that's when I kind of couldn't escape the things I was thinking or feeling about. And so my answer was, I'm going to start writing a blog. And then this blog turned into this community, and then this community turned into a movement that I titled Contrarian Thinking: Civilizing the Mind, Making Savage the Body, Building the Bank Account. The goal was to become unfuckwithable and successful so that you can weather most storms. I think the best part about what we do here is it has nothing to do with your genes, your parents, your IQ, and everything to do with your ability to ask questions and do the work. We bring the skills and resources, and if you take action, that's where the difference happens. Now, I've taken everything I've learned about becoming financially free, about becoming an investor, and put it into playbooks and communities for this group to be untouchable humans. A community and curriculum that, I don't always love to say it this way, but creates free-thinking millionaires. Because I think that financial freedom derives all freedom. And it's how I went from, maybe like some of you guys, this super corporate, to this speaking my mind and getting to do the things that I wanted to do, just like maybe some of you are holding back. Today, my story still surprises me a little bit. I'm still figuring it out. I'm nowhere near the peak, but I did hit that magical, albeit ever-changing financial freedom number. And I do love what I do every day, including my husband. Even the days when we both want to murder each other. Love you, babe. But the truth is contrarian cash flow, what we created here, is a way for people to change their lives, period. It's a big fucking promise, I know. But the cool part is we've been doing this for 2 years. And there are all of these humans that you can see here that have done exactly that. They've actually proven that what we talk talk about works if you do the work. In 1 year, your mirror will show a different reflection if you're willing. And so I remember when I first started this, I said, imagine in 90 days, the people in here have closed their first cash flowing deal. They've added 2 or 3 income streams. They've used a loan or other people's money to buy a business perhaps. They've completely replaced their expenses. They've renegotiated their income. They've bought back their time. They use their money to work for them. And now with more than 2,000 people through this, we've seen you guys have built car wash empires and RV parks and rental businesses and kicked off 6-figure newsletters like ours and negotiated equity and 2 to 10x their income, become deal makers, essentially seen through the matrix of money, and maybe even become better humans. Because I think once you become red-pilled, you don't really go back. Ordinary humans just make some extraordinary changes, but we all got the same DNA. So it's okay to be the first version of me or you, to be lost, confused, scared, broke, fat, depressed. That's all part of the human experience. But you know what's not okay? Staying there. Your future you is sitting on the other side, waiting for you to show up. And these people know that too. So close your eyes for a moment. Picture life with a peaceful mind, a savage body, and a big bank account. What would that look like? Is that worth the commitment to you? Nobody here can do the work for you, but we can at least give you the tools to do what you need to do to change your life entirely. The thing is, you can't do it for free. And that's when people might say to me, well, why would you charge if you've already made it, Cody? And I'll tell you why. Because you need skin in the game. Because you need to be incentivized to take action. Because if you're going to come into our crew, you have to be the type of person that is a doer. Because I don't want anyone in here who is just browsing their way for life. It's not free. It's not cheap. Because it'll cost you time and focus. And that stuff isn't easy, but it is simple. So if you're thinking, I'll do it when X, I'll start it when Y, insert whatever excuse has kept you from already achieving what you want, to me that tells me one thing. If you want to be a doer, you got to do it now. This isn't an inspirational rah-rah fest. I got no manifesting mantras for you. It's 3 things: tools, proven tactics and playbooks, frameworks, mindset changes to peer through the matrix, community, others on their climb to help you. But you're the only one that can start. You're the only one that can take action. I see people asking me questions all the time, like, well, I'll start when X, I'll do it when Y. That's what's wrong with most people. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You can't do this halfway. The cool part is, I actually think that most people were made for this. That your choice is just whether the moment will make you or you will make it. Whether you're helpless in it or riding atop. You do not get much choice on the moves of the world typically. The only choice is, do you accept the challenge? Or will you let the screams of inadequacy fall? For you, the few, the ones who are here, I think you're here for a reason. And perhaps that's a silly notion from one grain of sand to another, or perhaps it's the only sane thought in this universe of chaos. So I'll leave you with this. If not you, who? If not now, when? It only really means you wanted something but did not get it if you don't take action. So will that be what's written on your tombstone? Stop talking about what you want and start going to get it. We hope you join us.